let's talk about something. Let's talk about something today, okay? I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm sure I'm gonna find it though. I bet I'll just like cut out the part where I'm thinking about what I'm gonna talk about, and then we'll get into it in the video. Boy, oh boy, I am tired. I am exhausted, man. You know, it's like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. Because if I'm being honest, I just feel like I've been detached from my own like self, in the sense of like, I don't know who I am because all I ever do is say I'm not this. I'm not this. I'm not like my parents. I'm not like my brothers. I'm not like my grandparents. I'm not like any of this, you know, boom, 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 boom. I'm not like anybody around me. I'm not like the peers in school, and I'm not, you know, like I just want to separate myself from the identity of the people around me because all I see is flawed individuals. But then that comes to accepting that I also am a flawed individual who needs to pipe down, in a sense. Like, you can't express that you're not something and ignore all the things that are similar in your experience and mine. I'm like, I can't be so one track minded. I'm like, am I like you? Am I like you? I'm like all of these people combined, but in my own little way. Because all I've known all my life is the people around me. The people around me have taught me most of what I know, and then I had to go about my day and choose to learn more and expand that knowledge. You know, my introduction to the world has been the world around me. So all my feelings about the systems around me and all these things, it's been rooted from the ground up. And everything that I have desperately chosen to separate myself from is still here. It's just not here. And I don't want it to be. But when it's not here and it's all around you, you almost sort of feel isolated. In the sense of you're not seeing too much of yourself around you. So you start to lose track of who you are. And I can't point to a time in my life where I had pieces of myself around me, but I can definitely say there have been times where it's been more manageable and I could be more patient. And that's not to say I'm not patient and I won't be patient, but it's also to say that I'm getting sick of being patient. I'm over it. I'm already over it, but I'm still doing it. It's like self-destructive. It's kind of just going all over the place, but what I'm getting at is that I don't have the same, obviously I don't have the same mindset that I did years ago, months ago, days ago. It's like everlasting evolution or everlasting change. It's one or the other, because either it's getting better or it's just like changing, you know, based on the events going on. I can say that more times than less I've been more optimistic. I can't lie. Like, it's hard for me to say that I'm optimistic, but it's also to say that all my actions have been gearing towards optimism. You know, I can say that I don't fully in my heart believe that things can get better, but I do like act as if things can get better. And that just proves that living in a certain way as opposed to thinking in a certain way. Because the way you think fluctuates. The way you live, it fluctuates. But if you can stay in the same track of, I have a goal and I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do all these other things, you have your goals set out because you think in the end it's all going to be worth it. And if you don't think that, it's almost to say that you're self-sabotaging. If you don't think it's going to be worth it, you're wasting your own time. And you should find something that's going to be worth your time instead of choosing to live for others. Because that's what that is. When you and your goal are on two different planets, like, you can't even recognize what your goal is because you've been living over here. and not understanding that you need to cultivate yourself and be somebody who understands who they are instead of somebody who understands where they are. Well, that's not true. I think understanding where you are is a vital part of understanding who you are, because you almost act in reaction to everything around you. So if things aren't going your way in one avenue of life, you're gonna want more of that, and you're gonna almost get more comfortable with the things that you have around you. And you won't even realize that the things you have around you are luxuries. These are luxuries that we have, but we also don't have certain things. Life is not fair, and that's actually one piece of evidence that I've gotten when I was a kid that stuck with me, and it's been proven time and time again. Life is not fair. Life does not operate on a scale of balance. There's no balance. There's only proof, and then there's the effect, like of what the proof does. Whatever is going on, and then the reaction. So action and reaction. Put that on a scale. That's the only way you can really scale it, I feel like. Because in life, things change so fast that you have to get adjusted to it. If you can't generate enough money to pay for a surgery after you just got into some fatal crash, things are gonna look down. Like, things are gonna start looking down. If you can't pay for your college tuition and you get into some debt because you have to get some loans, boom, 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 things are gonna start looking down. Everything is operating on the system of money too. It's not to say that money is all evil, but money has been an over influence on the world, almost to say like, myself, I just can't think of a world without money. And that's kind of just like saddening. Like, I can imagine that people in general work together and find a better conclusion, but I myself cannot think of what that would be. I'd actually need that discussion to open up first before I could participate in like my ideas. I also I've gotten sick of waiting around for me to have results. Like, I have made results, and I've also let myself down in certain aspects. I can say that life is an uphill struggle. It's like it's really hard. You're pushing a boulder up a cliff, and that shit keep falling down. And that shit keep falling down. They keep on falling down. I promise. Some people have it better than others, but that's also to say that life isn't fair, And that's fine. If you have it better than others, I say you better enjoy it and do good for you and your community, at the very least. But who am I to give advice? I don't know. I don't know. I can't really like resonate with my community, so I'm almost saying that in the sense of like, I can't do it, so why don't you? And that kind of seems a bit one-sided. I don't know. I've been dealing with a lot of frustration when it comes to life. Like, frustration when it comes to money, the value I place on money. Because I also understand that myself as an individual, I don't desire money. I do indeed desire the resources that money can bring us. Money is also the key component in my world to having a community. At least in my environment, in my location, it's only been time and time again that people around me usually only show up when the things that can be bought with money are presented. And that's not to say that these people are bad and they're just selfish or greedy. It's to say that that's the proof. That's the proof, and they have a reaction. Their reaction is showing up. And if you can get people to show up by using money, that's how you got to do it. But if there's another way, and if I find that other way, I'll gladly choose that before I choose money. And I don't know, kindness is a strong example of that, but kindness only goes so far because people don't place enough value on kindness as they do money. Everybody is self-interested to a certain degree. And that also leads me to the point of, am I the odd one out? Am I the only one seeing like my life as something less than it is? Like, am I the only one who's just constantly thinking, damn, what is this all for? Like, am I just sitting around wasting my time while everyone else is going out and getting it? Oh my gosh, I should act with some urgency, but I'm just not the person to be so blind and think that other people aren't dealing with their own struggles. And it just takes a lot out of people to express how they feel when they feel it. And a lot of people are doing good, a lot of people are doing bad. More people are doing bad than they're doing good. So I can at least say that life isn't fair, and it's been more in the negative than the positive. Because sure, we can have like the institutions and the system in place and all these things, but the more I learn about the systems I'm living in, the more I realize they're not even here for me. They're here to act against me if I ever shall oppose them, because of the things that I'm seeing. I'm like, I don't have the opportunity to appreciate these systems, because I understand that, one, if the time comes for things to be unfair, they will be. They will be unfair, and you will see it. It doesn't matter how many times you think, oh, if I prepare good enough, I'll be all right. Shit just isn't that simple. You could be as prepared as you want, but once that time comes and things don't go accordingly to your plan, and you have a bunch of payments due, you got to do all these tests, and you have to overwhelm your brain with the struggles of living in a society that's geared towards money, and more money. You almost start to lose yourself within the system. The system is almost just like consuming you. It's eating away at your flesh, or it's eating away at my flesh. I'm saying you because I don't want to put that on myself. Oh my gosh. I think it is eating away at me too. I don't know. It might be. It's hard to accept when you've been defeated. It is. I don't know if I can accept that I've been defeated, but I can also just say that I don't think I've won, and I don't think I'm close to winning, and I don't know what winning looks like. So who am I to say that I haven't won already? Who am I to say that I can't win? Who am I to say that all that is around me is really how it's supposed to be? Like, I don't know. I can accept that I don't know these things. And I want to be proven wrong when I say that life is unfair, but proof is in the pudding, and I want it to change. I want things to be different, but I don't have enough in me to try. Not even to try, but to make that my main mission. Like, I'm conforming, and all my goals are geared towards the system. Like, I can look at my goals and be like, damn, I'm on some bullshit. Like, I'm just doing whatever because I think I have to find somewhere to fit in. If I can't find somewhere to fit in, then I'm gonna look crazy, or I might die, or I might just not be where I want to be. And I don't know where I want to be, but I gotta be somewhere. And I might place myself in positions that are less of decisions I'd make rather than decisions, people tell me I should make for safety reasons. Like, of course, going to college, it's a smart thing to do. Get your education, but the education system has all its flaws in it. So you have to think about these things before you do them. And also, you have to get a job. The job market and all this stuff around employment and wages and the salary and the taxes and everything, it's all just a lot. And it's a lot for me to care about, because it's like, why would I care about some shit that is just trying to stress me the fuck out? I need to grow up in this world and do all these things and make this big money so I can live comfortably. And then I'm seeing people who work 2 jobs. don't get the opportunity to really live comfortably because majority of their day is spent working. And some people are more fortunate than others, but that's just playing into the cards that life is not fair. Life is not fair. And I don't know how to say, oh yeah, maybe I might be a person who is on the upper echelon of existence. Like, I don't know what the fuck that looks like, you know? I don't know what it looks like to be a person who's at a higher level. And I don't know if that even exists. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We almost just like, we only really get higher status in our minds because we have these titles, we have these monetary gains, we have all these people around us who are telling us that we're doing better or we're doing good. So we feel better and we feel good. And we almost get blind to the fact that we also are still prisoners in the system. The system is not meant to help, it's meant to continue. We're stuck in a state of survival. So that's the best way for you to survive, is to find a way to be above like that bar of struggle. If you can meet a certain level of comfort, your life is good. But then we also question, why do our lives still feel so, they still feel a little uncomfortable, you know? You almost question, how much of this do I need to feel comfortable? How much experience can I gather up in order to feel like I've lived a good life? And how many things do I need in my environment to fight against all the things that the system is placing around me in order for me to feel good? Because obviously there's the way to like really put yourself within the system and just conform and just give all yourself into these jobs and, you know, your family, and do these things. And I don't know. I feel like if we had such a high performing civilization, we could probably find a way so nobody has to stress and nobody has to force themselves to make ends meet just because, you know, rent is due and kids gotta eat and things are just not looking in your favor. Me, I grew up without my father, and I didn't know how much of that I would need in the current day-to-day. And my mother worked really hard, you know? At some point, she would work 2 jobs, and it still wouldn't be enough. And I can understand how, in her struggle, she wants me to do good, and she wants me to be a person who lives a comfortable life. But I also see how this is not a world based in those types of ideologies, because even if you get to the top, you're still in the system. I just have no love for it, you know? I have no love for it, and I don't have too much respect for all the things that are going on. The history of it all, I'm like, damn, I was just born here, and I'm supposed to conform and live within the principles of this nation that I live in. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, because everyone else is doing it. So if everyone else is doing it, it must be okay. It must be a thing that I should be doing too, because, well, if not, what am I doing? I'm crazy, you know, like at that point. I feel like I kind of got a bit far from the original point, and I can't remember what the original point was. Yeah, I'm tired of waiting, but like, I don't know if I'm tired of waiting, because waiting seems almost better than participation in the sense of actively giving it my all. Oh, I gotta lock in, I gotta get all this money. Honestly, if I die poor at 40, I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't give a damn, because money doesn't mean much to me, and it does provide resources. So at some point, when it turns into something I need to have, that's the struggle. You're in the system fully. You're boxed in. You don't gotta worry about getting locked in, because you are. You're stuck. Don't worry about that. Once you need that money, you're never gonna get your freedom back unless you choose to take it. And I don't know how to do that. And I'd like to learn how to do that, because if I can't get my freedom in a nation built off of freedom, and independence and all these righteous values, what's the purpose of spreading these ideologies if it's not meant for the national gain? Because you know what? The national gain should be everybody feeling like they live a good life and feel like the country that they live in isn't committing war crimes to other countries. You know, like also that too. It just like kind of defeats my whole like desire to do good in this country. I don't like I often think about moving out and going to a whole nother country, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like life is where you are and you have to approach it where you are and then do things in that order. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't got the guidelines and the rules, so there is no rules. It's supposed to be freedom and independence. So I'm an independent thinker and I should be somebody who can find a way to make myself and everybody around me live a good life. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to change the whole world, but at least my world should be based on good principles and supporting things that are against my own principles. I don't know. I'm kind of just talking all over the place, but I also don't know what my future looks like. And I've thought about it a bunch of times and I'm like, I don't know who I'm gonna be in 10 years or if I'm gonna be around in 10 years, if I'm gonna be a person who's actively participating in the system because I waited so long to the point I forgot what I was waiting for, you know? Because if I'm assuming that if I wait long enough, I'll get all that I want, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I just know what I don't want. That's it. That's all I got. All I got is a faint idea of what I don't want. And what I don't want is to be somebody who has to work a job, somebody who has to be involved with the system because there is no other way. I don't want to be that person. So what is the way besides that? I don't know. And it is for me to find out. If I wait long enough, I might find out. If I don't wait and I take action, I might find out. But I don't really know. And that's just the truth of it, if I'm being honest. I'm going to spend some time thinking, and then I'll probably get to the conclusion that, oh, I don't know. Like, you know, like that's just the way I am. The way I am is I lead myself to the conclusion that I can't figure it out at the current moment. So I just need to build more experience to fully understand the world that I'm in. And maybe if I do, the world inside my mind can figure out all this stuff for me. But what does that mean? That means like learning from people around you, whether you agree with all their values or not, you know, just seeing where their head is at, you know, like, are they appreciating the system at a different level than you are? Is everybody thinking what you're thinking? At least about one thing. Like, can you find a single thing that everyone can agree on? I don't know. I don't know if my goal is to make everybody happy because that's not something that is motivating to me because people are stuck in these systems and for so long they've been carried out to the point where it's like, damn, you have to fight against whatever is oppressing you because if you don't, it's going to get the better of you. At least if you can be an independent person, somebody like by yourself, like you and yourself, like if you want to be self-interested, interest yourself in some freedom, okay? And if you don't want to be self-interested and you're choosing to be self-interested, why are you doing that? Ask yourself that. It's not to say don't do that because there is responsibilities that we all have to carry, you know? We have burdens we have to deal with, you know? And it's hard to come to terms of agreement and be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore and I want to do something else, but what do we do? What do we do if we all ask that question? I'm sure we can find some form of answer, but I don't know if everybody wants to do that. So I'm almost not asking the question. I'm almost not even suggesting that you ask the question, but maybe I am. I don't know. I am talking in circles and I'm tired. I'm tired. Like I can look around and just like be amazed by how much bullshit, I'm seeing. Like, there's a lot of bullshit, man, and it's fucked up. I can laugh at some of it because some of the ways that I cope is through humor, you know, things that are funny but also reflect the current climate are ways that I can accept it better. Because it's like, okay, I can't say that I feel good or bad about it, but if I can laugh about my own situation, okay, it doesn't hurt as much, you know? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a bad thing to laugh at your environment when things aren't going your way. But it's also to say that you need to be responsible and find the appropriate actions to do these things in the way that you want them done. You don't have to live in a boxed in point of view. You don't have to be a person who's like everybody else. What you do need to do is live in accordance to what your mind is telling you. If your mind is telling you to go one way and you're running the opposite, you're killing yourself. Like, you're killing yourself. And then you forget who you are. At that point, you have to regain yourself. Like, you can't just accept defeat, you know? I'm tired. I can be tired and I'm not gonna accept defeat, but damn, I'm tired, man. Like, shit is tiring, bro. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do or what I'm going to do, but I hope I do something, you know? I hope I do anything, like literally anything, rather than just think about it all day. But maybe thinking about it is good. Who knows? We'll see. The future is near. The future is near. It is the future. We're living in the future. We're living in the future. We got this. We got this. I'm such a tired. I'm so tired, man. I don't know. I don't know if I can accept that I'm doing okay. Because sometimes I think about my life and then I kind of get a little sad about it because I'm wondering where this is leading, you know? Where am I going? What is it all for? And then sometimes I just stop looking for the reason. And then I'm just like, why am I doing it if there is no reason? I'm questioning the question. And then I'm like, what's the purpose of questioning it if it's all just gonna lead you back to doing the same thing that you've been doing your whole life, which is waiting, you know? But it's not to say that thinking isn't a good thing, because if you think, you can properly gauge who you are, you know? I just gotta do it more. I just gotta gauge who I am. And then if I can find a real goal that I actually am willing to live my life for, then I would gladly choose to drop it all and just aim my sights on that. I don't give a about money. I don't give a about building wealth and all these things, because it just feels so fake. It just feels like flimsy. All the little paper that we need to collect, and then we transfer it digitally to our banks, so we see a big number with the commas and then the 6 figures. Oh my gosh, we're rich. We're so much better than we were before, but we're still in the same place. I say a lot and I don't know what I mean, but I also just, I think I'm just sick of a lot of the things around me. I don't know. The people around me have chosen to tell me I need to live a life that is comfortable. And I don't know how to get comfortable with this system, really. And I don't know how to get comfortable with money, because money just feels so weird, you know? All these old white men staring at you, you know, and their cursed buildings are so strange. You know, like, let me stop. Let me stop, man. I'm just saying it just to say it, right? I'm just joking around. I'm just joking around. I'm just kidding around. I probably like feel a little bit loony, like a little bit crazy when I talk about things like this, because I don't have anybody I really like to talk to about how I feel when it comes to the system on a day-to-day basis. I don't have too many people to talk to about that type of stuff. And the people I live with, I clearly don't have the, you know, the comfort within myself to talk to them about it. So maybe that's why I'm making this video, you know? Maybe that's what this video is about. Accepting. Learn to accept who you are. And then if you're, I don't know. Sometimes I want to quit like the idea of giving advice to others and give some advice to myself. And I always like mask it like I'm okay. You need to do it. No, I'm trying to talk to myself and I just like can't accept it. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. Like every time I want to give advice to some stranger on the internet, I'm just giving advice to myself, man. Because I'm not the person who is best suited for advice to others. I really only know myself. I haven't like the experience to say, okay, life is like this, so you need to be like that. You know, I can't do that. That's why I give all my advice in vague terminology, in vague, you know, like sense, because it only makes sense to me. And I don't know when I need to accept that it does, but I hope I do soon so I can do something valuable with my life, or at least just live life how I would want to, you know? Choose to be a good person, do nice things for people, all the nice little stuff that we hope to do. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind, but then I look at my face and I say it all with such seriousness that it doesn't look too loony, and it makes it more believable that I am somebody who's thinking these things of a free mind. I just want to be curious, but a lot of the things around me are making me lose that curiosity a little bit. You know, like it's like, oh, you know, that's how this is supposed to be. I got you. I don't know who to be in a world like that, so I'm kind of just waiting around. I guess I'm like almost in a sense waiting for everything to collapse. Like I'm waiting for it all to go downhill. So then I can like, oh, you know what? This is a good time to take action and like really live your life in a valuable way. Because once the dollar has collapsed, then maybe you might have some freedom. You don't have to live beyond the means of, oh yeah, I don't have enough money to buy these things, so I can't do these things, you know? Like, why is the beach that I go to, I gotta pay for parking? You know, I assume that a lot of these things are run through money, and money is just the end all be all. So, you know, the park is paid through property tax, and a lot of people don't like property tax, and they're choosing to campaign to make property tax go away and shit. And I'm like, what's the point of doing that? The whole system is just fucked up, man. It's just money, 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 money. You would think that there would be an available space for like a smaller economy and less prioritization of the economy rather than, you know, your day-to-day life. Your life is the economy now, and that's sad to say, you know? Well, my life's not even the economy. I haven't got enough money to stress about, you know? I haven't enough money to stress, but I also just have too much to think about, like everybody else. I'm no different from the average person, though. I hope I find a good community with people who just, you know, think about bettering their community as well, and then we could all just like put together all our thoughts of a good community, and we just transform our worlds, and then we blend them together, and then they all just form a utopia by accident. Let's accidentally create a utopia or some shit, man. I don't know. I've been talking for 34 minutes and I need to end this video. So the intro will be the intro. I'm tripping. The outro will be like this. The outro will be like this. Your life is a testament to your beliefs. And if you don't feel that way, something has to change.